This is a special video for all my overachievers. Not the tweet and deleters, but for people who have intentions to do better. So I'm reading this book about self-sabotage right now. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna. I don't know how to say her name. I could literally do a rant about each paragraph. This is an amazing book with so much wisdom, so much information, beautifully explained and very actionable. You see the problem, you get a bit frustrated, you get a bit angry because someone shows you what's wrong in your thinking, what's stopping you, what's preventing you from living your best life, and you get a bit like, but then they show you literally actionable steps how you can change it today, right now. And then it's just your decision whether to do it or not. Basically my channel, but in a book. I think I'm not ready now, but when I'm older, I'm thinking 25, I could start working on a book. Self-help, realizations, self-exploration, wellness, nervous system, psychology, something like that. I'd pick a topic. I think I really want to talk about depersonalization, like dissociation and trauma responses and all of that, because it's very close to my heart, something that formed my personality and left a mark on the young Lisa in me. I wanted to talk about today is very connected to the topic with good people always question their goodness video that blew up. My mom is messaging me every day saying, did you see how many followers you have now? I do, Mom. I do see this. This is insane. It's all just the beginning. You really inspire me. I'm glad I was able to put my thoughts into words in a way that will resonate. And that you see me and you because we are one. In that video, I was talking about how kind, good people, and I also defined what good and bad is. It's kind of a non-existent concept really, but if I had to put it into words, I said that good people are always questioning their goodness, questioning their value, questioning whether or not they are right in every conversation, even if they know that all they want is love for the other person, and they move with this genuine energy through their life. They just walk with this love. They still leave space for the other perspective to be right. And it's very, very, very connected to what I'm about to say, but not really. So listen. People who work hard always think that they're not doing enough. And now this is a big blessing. This is something that you can utilize, use as fuel, and make change with it, you know? Just create breakthroughs with this energy, because if you're not doing enough, that means that you're not proud of yourself, and it leaves space for improvement. You view yourself as not perfect all the time. You're never fulfilled, and it drives you crazy, and this craziness pushes you forward. There is a limit to that, though. It gets unhealthy at a certain point. We know marathon runners who break their bones and all the crazy stuff that David Goggins did. You are never enough. And that concept that grows in a mind of a hardworking person is very helpful on your path of evolution. But in order to sustain growth and be healthy, you need to realize that it's actually the truth, you know? Because naturally what we want to do, we see something that's not helping us but doesn't feel good. It helps us grow, but it's kind of unhealthy. We want to run away from this thought. Oh, I'm not enough and I'll never be enough. Okay, that's kind of not true, so let's run away from that thought because we don't like the results of it. We are growing, but it's hurting us. The growth is hurting us. Let's run away from the concept that we are not enough. You see what I mean? You're trying to run away from something that's hurting us in the long term, even if it's helping us grow. You know what I'm saying here? And it's not the right approach either. You are not enough. That's the truth. You will never be enough. You will never have enough. And accepting this truth is what will help you move forward from both of these scenarios that you might find yourself be stuck in between. Because I had that experience and it was not pleasant. I still do. See, this has a lot of manifestations in life. This is a phenomenon, this is a human experience that we need to notice and take action in and meditate through it and sit through it and breathe through it. Because if we don't notice, it just manifests as literally self-hate, fucked up self-esteem. We will act out of insecurity. It actually can make you insecure. You are your biggest bully. I'm sure you know this. Like, hardworking people know that. The fact that you are sitting here right now and you're at this stage of your success, whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's your mental health project, your healing journey, your incredible business, or a child that you brought into this life and you're now showing them how to move through this world and assisting them with their own process of figuring it out. It's all a big project. And the fact that you're bullying yourself so much in this process, it's necessary. It's natural. You were supposed to be your biggest bully. Nature formed you in a way that you would always be your biggest critic. And it means that you leave space for ego to step aside. It's actually a good thing that you're criticizing yourself so much. But the higher self steps in and it's like, look, there's been this thing going on. It's actually not serving you that much. Like we see this. It's no longer working. It's kind of hurting you. Let's work on this. So, at first we need to realize that it's a natural process. Every healing, every changing of patterns starts with acceptance. Let me read you a part of this book. As I said, the more we resist things, the more we want to run away from this uncomfortable feeling, the more we want to change it right now, is the more it runs away from us. So I would say relax. Accept that you will never achieve everything. You will never be able to be completely fulfilled unless you stop and appreciate what you have right now. What is the point of life then? If you will have a moment in which you'll be able to say, I have achieved everything. What's the point of this then? We were made to achieve. We were made to experience and want more. Let me read this part of the book about dopamine and what it is, because I love my hormones. So listen. When we imagine what goals we want to achieve, we often do so with the expectation that they will elevate our quality of life in some tangible way. And once we have arrived at that place, we will be able to coast. As I said, coast isn't let go, relax into life. Let things be for a while. This is not what happens. Neurologically, listen, science here. When we get something we really want, we just start to want more. New research in the nature of the chemical dopamine, which was previously believed to be the driving force behind desire, lust, and acquisition, proves that it is more complex than previously thought. Listen to this. In The Molecule of More, it's a book, Daniel Z. Lieberman explains that experts who study the hormone found that when an individual was introduced to something they highly desired, the dopamine surge would diminish after acquisition. So they figured out that dopamine was never here to give you pleasure. It's all of these other happy hormones. Dopamine is actually the driving force. It's like, I want more. It's not just the, pleasure. It's the, what's the next thing? That's dopamine. That's what they're saying, I think. So there's this big, huge goal that you're working toward, and you'll get there and you'll want the next thing. And then there will be another mountain to scale, and another one, and another one, and another one. And the thing about overachievers, about people who want everything to be the best, to be perfect, to be amazing. We always want to be productive. We always want to succeed. We always want to be the best versions of ourselves. The thing with us is that we are actually very fearful people. As much as we don't want to admit it, every over-masculine person has their over-feminine side. Everything is very balanced. Every over-feminine person has a very deep-rooted over-masculine side. And see, every overconfident person, every overachieving person has a deep-rooted fear of not succeeding. So you knowing that there's potentially a scenario in which it might not work out as you want, you realize that you will want more. So I'll get this amount of money, and I know that it's not going to be enough. Like, I'm smart enough, I'm humble enough to realize that I will always want more. I don't know if that's humility. It's just self-awareness. So we realize this. We don't even want to start. That's the problem. And it is actually scientifically proven self-sabotage technique. It's very unconscious. You're self-sabotaging your success, your happiness, your achievements by not even starting to do them, because you know that you will want more. So why even bother doing anything if it's not going to be enough, if I'll never be truly satisfied? As I said, I have a solution to this. Accept and allow is always the solution to everything. This is my elixir to literally every single issue I have. So listen, there's more they had to say. And this is one of the many reasons that we deeply sabotage what we truly want. We know instinctively, so that's instinctive. That's not actually a very conscious. It can be conscious. I can be sitting here and thinking, if I get to this point of my life, I'll actually want more. So I'm a bit scared of even approaching it, because it's gonna leave me unsatisfied, and I'm scared of that feeling. It can be conscious, but it can be instinctive. Let's leave it that. We know instinctively that arriving won't really give us the ability to abstain from life. It will only make us hungrier for more. Sometimes we don't feel up to that challenge. That's what I'm saying. We are deeply afraid of this feeling of being unsatisfied with life, with ourselves, with our achievements, with our work, because we store memories within ourselves. And if you had an experience in the past where something didn't work out the way that you expected it to, you have this tingly feeling physically in your body when you think about it, because it's stored in you. So you remember when you felt unsatisfied, when you achieved something. I mean, it was a bit of a high, but then the dopamine reaction hit and you wanted more. And that led to this feeling of unsatisfaction that actually made you achieve more then, but it left you unsatisfied at some point. So you don't even start doing it because you instinctively, on a physical, body memory level, remember that it didn't feel good. So you don't even start doing anything. That's the self-sabotage they're talking about. So while we're on the way, a toxic cocktail of neurological biases. I love these expressions. This toxic cocktail of neurological biases start piling up on one another, and we start to resent, judge, and even vilify the object of our greatest desire. Ooh, that's true. That's when you actually, the dream is so big, then you start hating it. Oh, I thought I'd record a big video about this, but then I fell into my more feminine side of relaxing, allowing, and regulating my nervous system. There's nothing not masculine about it, but it's a more feminine trait, is what I mean every time I talk about femininity and masculinity. It's one doesn't cancel out the other. They can exist simultaneously. Balance, that's what I mean, because that can trigger some people. I need to always remember. But what did I say? I just mentioned it here because it fits perfectly. So when self-improvement videos make me angry, I know that I need to work harder. That's the same thing. When you know, this anger, this fear, this insecurity manifested into rage is actually only here to show you that you can do better, that you're actually moving in the right direction. Anger is not a bad emotion. There's a whole chapter about anger in here as well. I'll read you that after. But it's showing you that you actually want more and you have space to grow. It makes you angry that people are doing better. This big goal makes you fear it a little bit. You're ooh, uncomfortable. Or you're I know that when I get there, I'll have to expand even further and achieve even more, and that freaks me out because I've never been there. It's very uncomfortable. I don't know where I'm going. It's scary. So it makes you hate this idea of improving. It makes you hate this idea of reaching that goal. Psychology is fucking complicated. Kind of helps you realize a lot of things and makes you feel normal, makes you feel less crazy, That's at least what it does to me, because sometimes I feel I'm so unique and alone in all of these feelings, but turns out it's a biological reaction proven hormonally. I'm just a girl. Okay, so anger. Anger is always so vilified. When something makes me angry, I love it. You need to remember your limits. You need to remember to always stay loving to others. But anger in its healthy expression is a beautiful feeling. It pushes you to grow. So basically they're saying it's a transformative emotion. It is mischaracterized by its shadow side, aggression, and therefore we try to resist it. Exactly what I said. I can be a therapist. It is healthy to be angry, and anger can also show us important aspects of who we are and what we care about. For example, anger shows us where our boundaries are. No. Okay, that's not what I was talking about. Anger is transformative, and it is often the peak state we reach before we truly change our lives. Exactly! I was talking about it as well in my previous video. There is this glass of water that is your tank of energy. There is this limit to which you can go. You can use all of it, and then you reach some kind of a breakthrough. It can be a breakthrough or a breakdown. If you use too much of your energy and there's nothing left there, it's a breakdown, and your body responds in a certain way that will then help you build it up, and you will grow from it and you will learn from it, but it's essentially just a peak point that was needed for a change. And a breakthrough is when a limit of some kind of an emotion is reached, and then you are forced to break through. There is like this peak that this angry emotion is. So there was sadness. Imagine like there is a glass full of sadness, and then the peak limit of this cup of sadness is reached, and then there's anger. And anger is a very transformative, like it's like a little sprinkle that makes this cup overflow, and then a breakthrough is reached. That's how I see it. I don't know. And when we don't see our anger as such a beautiful transformative emotion, if we don't let it overflow, sadness was stored. It needs to release in some way. If we don't let the anger exist, if we resist it, we bury it, it starts to cross over into aggression. And then we take that energy out on those around us, opposed to using it as a transformative energy to change our lives. Food. My binge eating people will definitely know what I'm talking about. You will never have enough food. It works on big things such as goals and success and your dreams and achievements, relationships with people, what you want to be, like what you want to represent. But it can also be just everyday things such as food and addictions and any type of, phone. Anything that's dopamine related is always about achievements and wanting more. If you're emotionally starved, if the cup is imbalanced, if something is off, you will never get enough of that dopamine. Getting that food is so extremely important to that starving dopamine system that achieving it will only produce more dopamine, you will only want more of it. So don't fight the reaction, fight the reason why this reaction even happened. Work through the reason or the story that your mind is telling you, and then producing this reaction. Amazing. Feeling great. This book is amazing. I'm halfway through already. It's great. It's fantastic. I can talk about it more. Oh no, I took out the bookmark and now I don't remember where I stopped. I hope you had fun with me today. I hope you found this video insightful. And remember, you will never be enough. Your dreams, your achievements, you will get there. You will achieve everything that you ever wanted. You will meet the love of your life. You will get that job. Everything will happen like you want if you work for it. It's possible. It's completely possible. I'm not telling you that you won't do it. You will, but it's never going to be enough. It will never leave you fulfilled unless you savor every single moment and give it as much value as your dream. But literally treat every moment like it's the most valuable thing on earth. And then when this beautiful thing that you're working towards will come, you will treat it with as much respect as every moment in your life. And in that way, your entire life becomes super valuable and not just this big thing that you're working towards. And then your dopamine system isn't dysregulated and it's actually working properly, and you want to work towards something that will feel good and not leave you unsatisfied and wanting even more. Savor every moment, stay present, allow everything to happen. What else? Read books and breathe air. Love you.